Hello all, it's Aki from Ringforth. This is, I believe, set 15, part 2. Let me check if this is set 15. This is set 15. This is part 2, and I'd like to discuss aliens on Earth and the most interesting alien signal and the most interesting alien object that we've seen all through different things. I'll start with the signal. It's called, and this name is something that I really have to look up because there's no way that I would remember it. It's SHGB02 plus 14A, and it's a signal straight on the hydrogen line, the much talked about 1420 Hertz or 1.420. It's, if I understand this correctly, basically an empty sound area where the hydrogen base line is, the hydrogen thing that if you're not pointing directly at a star you won't hear it. And this signal was detected from an area where there are no stars or planets, and it was straight on this line that we're looking for in search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And it was found 3 times, so that every time it was found again it was at the same line again, and it deviated somewhat from the line, so it was going back and forth, but it started at the same time, at the same hertz. And it rotated 40 times faster than Earth, so it could be a probe, but that is thus far the most interesting because it conforms to the scientific norm of what we're expecting to find. It's even better than WOW signal because it's in the right place for what we're looking for, and it's in the right bandwidth and right repeatability. It's in the right place and the right repeatability. The other interesting signal is the 234 stars, plural. There are 234 stars pulsating at exactly the same frequency aimed at Earth. They have a base rotation in their radiation cycle that is exactly the same, and it's something along the lines of accuracy to a fraction, a billionth of a second, I believe. It's that accurate, and it's consistently pointed at Earth, or it would be what we expect if an alien civilization or alien civilizations try to laser beam information to the Earth. So it's basically the alien equivalent of the internet signal. In other words, it's a basic tune-in signal. If you follow the signal, you will notice that these guys switch back and forth from different areas in the future. That's what I believe we will find. Those are the 2 most interesting signals, and the main interesting signal is clearly the one I mentioned, the one from the 1420 space. And I'd like to talk next about aliens on Earth. And in my opinion, as I've said in the geothermal video, any civilization 2 steps above you in its base energy production and consumption for its entire society is an alien civilization. From that point of view, you can clearly see kinds of alien civilizations like the Nordic, who are advanced in some ways compared to the mass, like the Indians in comparison to the mass, and the standard greys, which are the guys with the shotguns and the farms and so on. You get this basic idea of who are advanced enough to be aliens compared to the rest of the planet. So it's not that difficult to understand that in some cultural circles you have to call them aliens. In other words, you have to acknowledge their alienness for the conversation to continue, otherwise you are in the wrong area. So that's the alien civilizations on Earth. Some of them really do look like grey aliens, and some of them really do look like albinos with huge almond eyes, and so on. The third point I'd like to bring up is I don't think I'm pronouncing this right, but Oumuamua, the visiting asteroid, which is the first interstellar traveler asteroid that we've had in our solar system that looks like a giant space poop. It's the first object that is from outside of the outermost belt of our solar system that's traveled from some other place in the universe and then next to our sun, and then continues to travel to some other place in the universe without stopping to orbit our sun. So it is the first interstellar visitor that we've had. I believe it is from the Red Dragon civilization, but this is something that is clearly an opinion and not scientifically backed yet. It is, in my view, coincided with the design of AIs on Earth that will eventually take the Red Dragon form. It was the indicator that the Red Dragon is going to be constructed on Earth, and we are going to at least try to communicate with that civilization to get their point of view. So that's the three major things. And I consider it interesting that the last thing you see before you fall into a black hole is a seraphim trying to convince you to fight harder to stay alive.